Today's video is an update for my I Want Pan project. This is a project that has sort of evolved from Pan Those Eyeshadows. I did that a couple years, maybe 3 years. We've moved, a couple steps away from Pan Those Eyeshadows every year, and now it's not similar enough anymore for me to feel like it's the same project. I will generally keep track of how many times I've used each shadow. I did not do a good job of tracking this month, so I won't be going over the numbers. And my goal is to hit pan on these shadows. Here is the palette that I was working with last month. I do try to make a functional, usable, everyday palette out of the shadows because I've found that when I'm being lazy in the morning, if I can't build a complete look that I will enjoy out of the palette, I'm not going to use it. So let's talk very quickly through the shades that I have in here today. I do have one shade to roll out, and it is this peacock blue from Wet n Wild. You can see there's the tiniest little speck of pan in the middle there. I did not have to use this very many times to hit pan. I pressed this myself. This was originally in a larger, I think 32 pan Wet n Wild palette. And I decided that I was not interested in having this rather bulky palette around anymore. I wanted to be able to rearrange it. This was pretty early on in my YouTube channel. I had just found the joy of making magnetic palettes. So I took that Wet n Wild palette, I repressed the shades that I wanted to keep, tossed the others, and I don't think I did a great job of pressing these flat into the pan. They tend to be, have sort of a crater, and the bottom of that crater made it very easy to hit pan on this, which I'm glad I hit pan. It's an okay shade. I actually don't think I'm going to keep it in my collection. I think I'm going to declutter it. I like it, but I have similar enough blues in better formulas, and I'm glad that I hit pan, kind of got my use on it, but I'm ready to part with it. Now for the rest of the palette, I don't have crazy impressive usage on any of these shades. I don't think that I am in any danger of hitting pan on any of these in the next month, with the possible exception of this yellow gold from Wet n Wild. This shade has the same origin story as that blue we talked about earlier. Otherwise, some of these shades are starting to show some good use. Limelight, this green from Luxie, now has quite a little pit going on in it. I'm starting to see some good use on White Sands, I think. Yes, White Sands from Luxie as well as Dreamboat are starting to look pretty well used. Those were both shades that didn't have a ton of use when I brought them in. And I'm really starting to see a nice channel in this shade from Sydney Grace, which is Bonfire. Okay, so I am actually going to be doing a little bit of rearranging this month. There are some shades in here that I feel like I've gotten good use on over the time that they've been in the project, but probably won't see pan and probably won't get great use as we go into fall and winter. So I wanted to swap some things out for a little bit of a overall cooler, slightly deeper set of colors. So the shades that I will be rolling out today are really this column. This more coral take on pink is not going to be a go-to for me this fall, I think. So I will be taking that out. I suspect that in a month or two, I will also be swapping out these two yellows for something maybe more like a deep orange, something along those lines. I feel like that could be pretty. Now let's get into the shades that will be coming into the project first up we have a Luxie shade in Halo. I feel like this is a pretty direct replacement of another Luxie shade, which was Skyflower. You see them side by side. Skyflower is definitely a little bit deeper, though they are both very light, and it is more truly pink. This is a very light pink, and it can pull a little bit purple or blue at some angles. It's pretty. I think it's a little bit more versatile for the winter. I have a matte mauve shade called Time to Celebrate. I thought this would be nice to have in as a good fall and winter neutral. I don't know that it goes quite as well with Halo as I thought it might, but I still feel like these could be pretty together, and that is quite a full-on swatch of Time to Celebrate. It can definitely be applied in a much more sheer way, which is probably how I'll wear it. Then to round out that column of mauve pink shades, we have Violet, which is a violet shade. Has a little bit of gray to it, which I think makes it great for fall. This type of shade, a purple with quite a bit of gray or a gray with quite a bit of purple, is a real perennial favorite for me, especially in fall and winter. It just feels very moody, Wuthering Heights, Kathy wandering the moors. Gives that kind of vibe, and I love that. That is what I want from fall for myself, and for the rest of you, if that's your goal as well. And then the last shade that I am bringing in is called Baby Boy, and I would say that this is the blue version of Violet, which sounds ridiculous when I say it out loud, but it is a very similar depth. It has sort of a similar amount of gray to it. I feel like these two together could be a really pretty look, but I see myself generally using both of these shades as either liner or like just in my outer corner to deepen a look up. Maybe I'll do some smoky eyes with them, but I don't know, that seems intimidating right now. I took a little pause to do some rearranging there, but let's take a look at the final palette. I feel like this is the exact kind of vibe that I want going into fall. I do have this little bit of gold, sort of a nice harvest color, and then the rest of it is like pure fall winter moodiness, which I think is going to be very fun to play with. I can see myself doing quite a few different looks with this palette and hopefully getting some really good progress on some of these shades. I would like to focus on this yellow from Wet n Wild this month. I feel like that is the only shade that I could really see myself hitting pan on anytime soon, which I know I said earlier, but bears worth repeating. I would really like to hit pan on this before like the November update, because I don't see myself wanting to use this in November and December. It's just too yellow. I mean, same goes for this shade as well, and maybe even the green. I don't think I'm going to hit pan on all of them, but I would like for all of them to look really, really well used by the time I choose to roll them out, which I'm guessing will be somewhat soon. Okay, I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know how your eyeshadow projects are going. If you are doing an eyeshadow project this year, I hope it's going so well. I'm pretty happy with how this one's been going. I've hit pan on quite a few shadows. I've gotten good use on quite a few more. And what more can I really ask for? Anyway, thanks again for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed, and I hope I see you guys in the next one.